July 1st, 1933, Marshal Italo Balbo took off with 100 pilots flying 24 Savoia Marchetti S-55 flying boats. These airplanes were powered by two Isetto Fraschini engines of 750 horsepower each. In the annals of aviation, this was the first time that an entire squadron crossed the North Atlantic. Their itinerary from Italy was Great Britain, Iceland, Canada, Chicago, New York, Azores, Lisbon, and back to Italy. The 24 planes were welcomed in Chicago by over 1 million cheering spectators. The world press described the event as the greatest accomplishment in aviation. In 1934, the Russians built a giant airplane called the Maxim Gorky, powered by 8 engines and weighing 58 tons. It had a wingspan of 206 feet. On January 20th, 1935, James Doolittle of the United States covered the coast-to-coast distance from Los Angeles to New York, carrying 10 passengers in 11 hours and 59 minutes. In 1935, the French airmail service began to carry mail between France and South America in a tri-engined airplane.
On November 22, 1935, Pan American Airlines inaugurated overseas flights across the Pacific. The elegant 23-ton Clipper reached an altitude of 18,000 feet and carried 46 passengers in great comfort. In 1937, the service was extended to the Philippines, and the Clipper was nicknamed China Clipper. The route extended over 8,500 miles to the mainland of Asia. On June 26, 1936, the DC-3 was introduced. These airplanes, manufactured by Douglas Aircraft for American Airlines, were for the first time in the history of aviation capable of 3 primary prerequisites: safety, speed, economy. Originally powered by 2 900 engines, some of the DC-3s flew for over 70,000 hours without a major overhaul. Douglas built over 11,000 DC-3s. Some of these planes are still flying today and have carried over 600 million passengers. Larger and more luxurious than its predecessor Graf Zeppelin, the Hindenburg was the last of the rigid-type dirigibles. 60 crew members looked after the welfare of the passengers of its 72 cabins, all equipped with showers, hot and cold running water, and other amenities. This dirigible was powered by 4 diesel engines developing 1,100 horsepower, and it cruised at a speed of approximately 80 miles an hour. It crossed the North Atlantic in approximately 45 hours. On September 2nd, 1936, the American pilot Dick Merrill, accompanied by the singer Richman, crossed the Atlantic from the United States to Great Britain non-stop in 18 hours and 48 minutes. On the return trip, On September 14, 1936, they covered the same route, a distance of 3,200 miles, in 17 hours and 44 minutes. On October 22, 1937, Colonel Mario Pezzi won the world altitude record in an airplane for Italy, reaching an altitude of 56,048 feet. This record was kept for approximately 10 years, until 1948, and was then captured by Great Britain. On November 30th, 1941, in a jet plane manufactured by Caproni Aircraft Company in Italy, the Italian pilot Mario Di Bernardi flew from Milan to Rome and returned. The speeds of the jet plane were 130 miles an hour and 70 miles an hour respectively. Shortly afterwards, the same jet flew at a speed of over 300 miles an hour at an altitude of approximately 20,000 feet.